Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of What's Cooking with Paula Deen. Last week, I shared with y'all a recipe for flank steak, and I hope you enjoyed the little piece that you saw with Tom enjoying the steak. Well, you got to have sides when you're going to have steak. So I love a scalloped potato, and it's such a nice change from just a baked potato, boiled potatoes. So in order to make those wonderful scalloped potatoes, we're going to peel and slice 3 pounds of red potatoes. And I'm going to slice them about 1/4 of an inch thick. And I'm going to cook those over medium-high heat until they're almost tender. You don't want to overcook them because you don't want them breaking up and falling apart. So just before they're done, and you'll want to make sure that you've cooked this in nice salted water. And I pour my potatoes into a colander and drain them well. And then I transfer them to a 13 by 9 by 2 pan. All right, now all I'm going to do now is make a simple white sauce. I'm going to melt a stick of butter, and I'm going to dice up 2 shallots and lightly toast those off in that stick of butter. And then I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of Wondra flour. That's Wondra. And Wondra flour is a much finer flour than normal flour. And you usually won't have to worry about any lumps or clumps when you use Wondra flour. So we've got our melted butter with our shallots that have been cooked off a few minutes. Then we're going to stir in our flour, and then we're going to stir in 1 cup of half and half. And you'll want to make sure that you're constantly stirring as you pour in your half and half. So it's just that simple. You'll want to just let that cook up until it's nice and thick. Now, speaking of thick, if it's too thick, all you have to do is add a little bit more half and half and just pour that over your sliced potatoes. And then we're going to add 1 cup of cheddar cheese and 1 cup of gruyere that we have grated. And we're going to put those in a 350-degree oven, and we're going to bake them until they're nice and hot and bubbly, probably about 30 minutes. And you're going to have a great pan of scalloped potatoes. Now, if your cheese is brown, and remember, you can always cover your potatoes with some tinfoil, just to make sure that your cheese doesn't get over brown or hard. And I think that you'll really like that as a change from a baked potato. And, we have to have something green by order of the food law. We just have to serve a vegetable. Although I have to tell you, I'd be completely happy with just the steak and potato. So my family really loves Brussels sprouts, and they have gotten real hip in your finer restaurants. You will find those almost on every menu, like I said, in the upscale restaurants. And I love cooking Brussels sprouts because to me it looks and tastes very similar to cabbage, and my family are big cabbage eaters. So I'm going to take a quick break, y'all, and then we'll come back. I'm going to talk about that green vegetable that we must have. Say the food police. All right, our potatoes are cooking. We're going to par-cook our potatoes until they're almost done, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know what I'm making you?
I do. Scalloped potatoes.
Yes, scalloped potatoes. And I've got your Brussels sprouts in the oven, and I'm probably soon gonna have to take those out because they're gonna be ready. And then I'm gonna cook you a flank steak. So I hope it all turns out good.
Yeah, I like those.
All right, so I'm gonna put half the potatoes here, and then I'm gonna cover them with a cheddar and gruyere. Do you like gruyere?
Yes.
I love it. I've got some butter over here with our shallots. So I'm gonna put us some half and half in here, Tom. Now I've got a little Wondra here. You know what I'm saying when I say that?
No.
Okay, it's that real fine flour that you can't screw up making gravy with. It won't be lumpy. So normally you couldn't do something like this. So we're just gonna let that cook a minute. And let's see, where did I put our shallots? Oh, I heated those in here. Y'all, I am so involved in every word Tom's saying. I might be forgetting an ingredient or two, but that's all right. I don't want it too thin, but I certainly don't want it too thick. You just sit them right here, Tom. Oh, I've given you the dirty job. Yes, right there. How does that look to you?
Oh, it's delicious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smells good too.
All right, and I got the grill hot. I mean, it was piping hot a second ago, and we had to turn it down. I think, thank you. All right, we've got that turned off. Thank you, thank you. Now I'm not gonna ask you to lift anything heavier than your fork. The space that you live in really affects the way you feel. So my first recommendation is start by updating your window treatments with Smith & Noble. Smith & Noble's beautiful handcrafted blinds, drapes, shades, and shutters are custom made just for you, and they offer different service options to fit your needs. To get started today, contact Smith & Noble to get my special limited time offer, 25% off on your window treatments, plus free design consultation. Create a space that you're gonna love. For details about my special offer, go to smithandnoble.com/Paula. That's smithandnoble.com/Paula, or call 1-800-659-3300. That's 1-800-659-3300. Hey friends, welcome back. All right, so let's talk about Brussels sprouts. You know, my family actually likes them because we're cabbage lovers, and they look like cabbage and they kind of taste like cabbage. We're going to start with a pound of fresh Brussels sprouts that we've washed and sliced in half. We're going to take 8 slices of bacon, and I just snip my bacon up using scissors into like 1-inch squares. And I'm going to lightly brown that in a separate skillet. All right. So we've got our Brussels sprouts washed and sliced in 2. So in a large skillet, I'm going to add a stick of butter, and I'm going to saute several cloves of garlic that I've sliced or minced up. And I'm going to cook that for 2 or 3 minutes over low heat. And then I'm going to add my Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to stir those until my Brussels sprouts are well coated. And I'm going to cook that for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to add my onion. I'm going to add 1 sweet Vidalia onion that I've cut in half and cut into petals. And I'm going to cook that for 2 or 3 minutes. And then I'm going to salt and pepper it. I'm probably going to use about a half a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. So I have par-cooked our bacon. So I'm going to take my Brussels sprouts and onions and put them onto a cookie sheet. And then I'm going to pour my bacon and the bacon fat all over my Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to cook that in a 350-degree oven for probably about 30 or 40 minutes. And at the end of the cooking time, it should have just started to brown nicely. And it really is a delicious, nutritious vegetable. You can eat a lot of those with barely any calories consumed. So, I hope you've liked this idea for my 2 sides today. And you know, I always try to send you love and best dishes. Okay, Tom, I've got our Brussels sprouts going. I'm just trying to get them a little bit done, but I told you that I was going to show you how to cook the fastest bacon in the whole entire world. I could fry bacon for a crowd of 30 in like 5 minutes. It's unbelievable. Now, I cut this up because it's going to go in with our Brussels sprouts, but I'm going to par cook it just a minute, not long, because I want some of that fat to still be left in this bacon to marry up with our Brussels sprouts. So come look at the way it's frying.
5 minutes?
Oh, it won't take 5 minutes. And I'm just gonna kind of par cook this, just like that.
Yeah, a little pink.
Because I want that bacon to still have some fat in it.
Yeah. These, by the way, are my favorite vegetable.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I like those.
I love them too. To me, it tastes just what it looks like.
Little cabbages.
This is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm about to get mixed up. I think I'm gonna put the onions in here, and I got shallots. I'll put that in our potatoes, our scalloped potatoes. How's that? Do you like onion? Please tell me you like onion.
I do. Yeah, onions and shallots both.
Okay, good. So, do you like the honors of doing the butt shot? Or here, let's cheat.
Put it over here?
No, we're going to put it in the oven,
put it in the
baby.
oven. Okay.
Bottom shelf.
There?
Better you than me. Your butt doesn't look that bad.
There isn't much of one.
Mine either. Mine's flat and wide. Thank you, honey. The space that you live in really affects the way you feel. So my first recommendation is start by updating your window treatments with Smith & Noble. Smith & Noble's beautiful handcrafted blinds, drapes, shades, and shutters are custom made just for you, and they offer different service options to fit your needs. To get started today, contact Smith & Noble to get my special limited time offer, 25% off on your window treatments, plus free design consultation. Create a space that you're gonna love. For details about my special offer, go to smithandnoble.com/Paula. That's smithandnoble.com/Paula, or call 1-800-659-3300. That's 1-800-659-3300.